the only person that understands your idea as well as you do is you. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy Dice here, and I want to welcome you to the third part in the video series on how your family holds you back. So I'm hoping that you've actually watched the first and the second part in the video series already, and just so that the ideas sort of like flow into each other. I've tried to make this video series easy for you to digest, and I've tried to make the ideas sort of like one idea flows into the next idea and then flows into the next idea. And the last video is just going to be on how to bring all this together and sort of like be more solutions orientated. Right now I just want to be able to point out all the ways that your family actually holds you back so that you're just a lot more aware of it. So if you like this sort of content, then by all means hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I would hate for you to like miss out on any of this sort of content. So with that being said, I do have some notes to keep us on track here because this is actually going to be a fairly dense topic. So the first thing I want to talk about is fake support or mediocre support from your family. So you need to understand that your family can only believe in your ideas when they have the context and understanding of it. So you see things through your lens and they see things through their lens. Tyler calls this like a red light and a green light filter, okay? So the lens that your family is looking at problems and looking at goals is through a red lens. They're looking through things like how all this could go wrong, why it's actually going outside the norm, what can go wrong will go wrong, sort of like very nitpicky. And then you're looking at your problem and solutions through a green lens and how things could work out, what would need to occur in order to make this successful, and very solutions orientated. You have very good problem solving ability. So I want to give you a bit of a, to sort of like cap on that particular point. It's like they can only understand and help you with the problem from the context that they actually understand it. So let me give you a bit of an example, okay? Maybe this story will help you become a little bit more clear on what I'm trying to explain. So many years ago, I had a mowing business, okay? When I first started this mowing business, my mother was all ears. She was able to help me from the context that she was able to understand it. And so she was able to be like, oh, well, he needs help pushing a mower. He needs help pushing a trailer. So she would come out of the house and she would help me with that. She'd help me understand a little bit about how to, like the perspective of a customer, because she once had people come and do mowing jobs for her. So from that context, she's able to understand it. But later, when I started doing this sort of stuff, okay, started getting into coaching, mentoring, YouTube videos, building a business that is a little bit out there, okay, that she has absolutely no context to how that would work, how you would be able to make money on the internet. She doesn't know how to help. She doesn't know, and the help that she does provide is very mediocre. It's sort of like, well, I hope this is going to work out, but it's sort of like very half-assed because she doesn't really know how it would work out. So she can't fully get behind my ideas in that case. So maybe you can relate to this, and I want you to leave a comment in the comment section below if you have that sort of idea in the back of your mind that you want to go and do something, but your family is unable to back you in this sort of context. And what they do is they'll say things that will be like supportive on the surface because they care about you. They want you to be successful and they want you to be happy. But their intentions are good, but their methods of doing to be able to help you is flawed because they're not really qualified and they don't really understand how to be able to help you with this problem. They can only help you at the level of which they understand the problem, and because the level that they understand the problem is poor, they're actually making it worse. They're giving you the wrong information, okay? It's actually sending you down the wrong road. So another example that I put here is like, if you, in most areas of your life, when you are going to go get a job per se, you're going to need some sort of training and mentorship or some sort of course to be able to go and do that job. So another point I'm trying to get at is like, have a think about your idea of what the job was before you actually did the training, and how like after you've done the training, how different, excuse me, the weather's changing. So how different the actual, how different the idea of what you had prior to going into the training was versus what it actually is after you've got the training. It's like completely different, okay? You have to take into consideration that your family, because they haven't been trained in what you actually want to learn, is like they're looking at it through that lens. So they actually not actually are qualified to be able to teach you the understandings and knowledge to be able to be successful in that particular area. So I've kind of already covered on this. They can only understand your goals, so they can only provide you conditional help. Also, because your parents can't understand your goals, and because of this, they find it very hard to be able to get behind your idea. The only person that understands your idea as well as you do is you, okay? Only you understand all the little intricate ways of the way things could fail and the ways that things could actually be improved and get better and go well. Because why? You're the only person that's actually committed to the time to learning it to the level that you understand it at the moment. You probably have some more work to do, but you certainly have more knowledge on the topic in this particular instance, in this example, in this context, than your family does. So when faced with the same problem, all you see is the solutions and all they see is problems. So they're going to say things in the course of your journey to actually get better and go after your goals, and like trying to work out all the problems and those sort of things. They're going to say things that aren't a direct jab to you, but they're going to be very undercutting comments. They might not necessarily be negative, but they may be very mediocre, and they might be just sort of like indirect jabs at your ego and indirect jabs at your understanding of the idea. And over time, this really starts to wear you down. It starts to become an additional baggage on your shoulders that you don't really want. So another thing that will come up inevitably is you might get a little bit frustrated in the understandings, in the conversations that you're having with your family about how to solve this particular problem so you can actually go after your goal. And they will, and if it starts to get a little bit heated, a little bit tense, they might even start to bring up like emotional triggers, like saying things like, "You're unappreciative. We try really hard to help you." And that's actually the truth. They are trying really hard to help you. They are trying really hard to get you to go after your goals and to actually be successful. But they're only going as hard as they are able to from the understanding that they have of the problem and the solutions necessary to get to your goal. So what this actually could lead to is they might actually start to resent you and start to distance you while you're actually going for your goal, because you realize that there's not a lot that you're actually able to relate to with them. And like when they bring up conversations that you can't talk about, they sort of like get a little bit bitter about it, and also it starts to make you a little bit bitter, so that it becomes a very conflicting situation. And you're sort of torn between these two ideas, as I mentioned in the previous video. It's like on one hand, you want to go for your goals, you want to win, but then at the same time, you want to stay relatable to your parents. So my advice to you is you're going to have to draw the line. You're going to have to distance yourself from your family more so. It is going to be painful, it is going to be hard, but if your goal is ultimately what you want to do and you want to be successful at it, you have to take on different ideas. So the last point I want to talk about is this idea that I got from Matt Steinweed, okay? He has this line that he did in this video that he says, "They don't understand the vision in your heart." They don't understand the vision in your heart. I want you to try and remember this the same way I have, because when you get into these conflicting situations with your family and you can remember that line, it's going to help you come back to a level of presence, and it's going to reduce a lot of frustration that you have towards your family. So they're never going to understand your vision, your goals, your ideas, and your purpose as much as you do. And like it's up to you to be able to step up above your family's ideas to be able to win and to go after your goals. So if you feel that you're at the stage where you're actually starting to step up, you're starting to realize all these little intricate ways that your family is actually holding you back, keeping you in mediocrity, and you've decided like, no, I need to get some better guidance on this, then by all means, I want you to send me a message on Instagram. Okay, we can get on a one-on-one discoveries call and actually see if we're a good fit. Another thing that I want to point out is that you may not realize that by you actually going on the internet and watching all these different videos about family or about all these different topics, you're actually filling your brain with information that might not actually be applicable to you. And there's only so much that the brain can hold. Let's be perfectly honest, okay? Your brain data dumps a lot of stuff. So if you take on all this information, it might actually not be applicable to you, and then it's actually going to be harder for you later down the road when you do actually want to get a mentor to be able to guide you through this. When you get a mentor, what actually happens is the information is now tailored to your problem so that you can get a solution that's tailored to you. So I want to be able to help you with this. If this sounds like something that you're interested in, by all means send me a message on Instagram. If you're not really ready for my mentoring, but you really like this content, you really like the way that I deliver my content, you like my ideas and like where I've sourced it from, then it really helps the channel out a great deal if you hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. Also, it would be good just so that you don't miss out on any more of this content. With that being said, thanks so much for watching, and I hope to maybe talk to you soon on Instagram. Dice out.